Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 Genetically Modified Overkill run. Hope you're all doing well. I felt like doing something a little sillier today, but we're going to be trying an extraordinarily difficult challenge, which I genuinely don't know if it's possible at all. We're going to try to kill stuff with ranged weapons with the diver. So the diver gets minus 100 ranged damage, so every ranged weapon is going to do only 1 damage, no matter what, basically. But to make that happen, we're going to play the diver, and then we're also going to be playing at 1 HP the entire time, because we're going to take diver, hunter, 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 and this will let us use crossbows to gain base damage with range from the hunters, and then also additional crit chance from hunter as well, hopefully. And while we're going to be playing at 1 HP the whole time, I'm hoping that this will manage to make a functional character. If it doesn't work, we'll have to try something. We might have to modify the challenge a little bit. But at least we are doing some damage here. The crossbow debuffs enemies, and then also will hit them for the extra damage when you hit them again. So that's pretty powerful. And we did get a crate drop, which is great. I'll take the Corrupted Shard. Curse is kind of dangerous on the diver, and it's going to be a long time before we can increase our damage output. So here we're actually going to take range over ranged damage. And also, because we're the hunter, we can't use harvesting effectively, because we have minus 300% harvesting. However, we can buy negative harvesting items, and those are good for us. So I'm going to recycle the harpoon gun on a 1 HP challenge. Having this is very dangerous. And then we're going to roll and buy a crossbow. Roll and buy a crossbow. Do I even want Gentle Alien here? The percent damage is a lot less valuable because we already have 96%. I think I'm going to roll past it and I will lock another crossbow. All I really care about is getting my weapon set online and finding range and attack speed. Alright, so these crossbows debuff enemies and then do kill them, especially if we get a critical hit. Critical hit is another stat we really want. Since the trees can't get the range damage debuff, shooting trees is pretty counterproductive for this character, so I'm going to try to focus on killing enemies. We're very reliant on getting critical hits as well. Here I'm going to reroll. Yikes, reroll again. Okay, I'll take crit chance. I was hoping for range or crit chance. And then we'll take the crossbow and roll. Lock another crossbow. I almost locked this weird food out of habit, but obviously that doesn't do anything for us since we are stuck at 0 HP the whole game, so we cannot ever heal. Do I want to roll one more time to try to find economy items or anything good? I think we're going to be very poor next wave because killing stuff is going to be hard, so let's just save our money and go to the next wave. I really want to be able to buy 2 crossbows if I find them. Hopefully. Now, it looks like we're doing a lot of damage here, but remember we're playing the diver, so enemies have 3.5 times as much health as normal. We technically can kill trees, also, so while they don't get the range damage debuff, so they're very, very hard for this character to kill, trees have a pity rule. If you hit them 8 times, they die, no matter how much damage those 8 attacks did. So you can still technically kill trees. It's not probably worth spending attacks on, though. Range damage, so we actually can buy range damage, I suppose. It scales at 50%. We have minus 100, so that's buying half a damage on our weapons. I think that's not worth it. Let's roll here, and I'll roll one more time. I mean, I guess I should buy this. I really want to be able to buy 2 crossbows, so I'll just take the 2 range damage here. We'll buy the crossbow, lock a bag, roll. Claw tree, I definitely need to be able to pick up. Hiking pole could give me extra range, so I could take that as well. I kind of want to try to do this with all crossbows at first, but maybe hiking pole is a way we can make this work if this try doesn't work out. And then I'm going to roll one more time for another crossbow. Ugly Tooth I actually don't really want, because on a one-hit challenge, lowering my movement speed is very bad, even if it does decrease enemy move speed. Okay, so we still haven't increased the damage of our weapons at all. I need to find more range to do that. Basically, almost died there. But hey, we killed the lamprey. I was not expecting to be able to kill the lamprey. So, we're doing okay here. Do I take 10 luck? I think I just need more damage. So I'm going to roll here, and we'll take 15 range, and then I'll take 5 crit chance as well. Upgrade my crossbow, buy a bag, buy a claw tree, roll. Dangerous bunny is probably worth it. We'll roll here. Corrupted shard. I took one that came out of a box. I don't think I want another one. Let's go to the next wave. I did one test run just to see if this combo worked like at all and died very, very early. So we're already doing better than my test run. Okay. Well, the 8 attack minimum did let me kill that tree. Or the pity roll. Ah, no. Okay, well, I walked into an attack there, but I think the principle is sound. So we're going to give this another try. If I hit restart, no, sadly, restart doesn't work for GMO right now. We'll take Diver, Hunter, 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 and we will give this another go. Take the crossbow and go to the next wave here. Or the first wave, really. Once we hit the threshold where our weapons are doing damage, we should be in okay shape, I think. Maybe I could have killed the tree that wave. Just gonna take 5 attack speed. I definitely want that. I'll recycle the harpoon gun. I'll roll, but take a crossbow. Roll, take a crossbow. Roll, and lock another crossbow. Okay, that's perfect. Also, horde wave, really scary. Because we're going to need just a lot of attack speed to kill all the horde enemies before we die. Again, one-hit challenge, so... this is going to be very dangerous. These mantis shrimp are also absorbing a lot of damage. I decided to do this on Abyssal Terrors because, obviously, since we've been doing the random weapon run, we just haven't played that map a lot recently. Take 10 more attack speed because it's a level 2 upgrade, and then we'll take a crossbow. Unfortunately, Sharp Bullet I don't think I can take, but I'll lock a Dangerous Bunny. I'll roll here. Roll again. Sadly, that means I can't afford a 5th crossbow, but we can at least lock that one. If I'd managed to pick up a few more materials last wave, we'd have been able to get a 5th crossbow, which would have been a really big deal for this wave. Oh, whoops. I should not have activated that Moray Eel. Okay, let's try this one more time. That was very predictable. That was just a consequence of me walking too close to that enemy and causing it to start attacking. If I'd stayed over further to the right, we'd have been okay. We do have very long range, which according to many people in my comments is a defensive stat. Unfortunately, it's not doing that for us right now, because our damage isn't very high. I'll re-roll here, and then re-roll again. And re-roll again, because all those are completely useless. And then we'll take 3% crit chance, and then we're gonna recycle. Glasses should be good. We'll buy a crossbow. We'll roll, buy a crossbow, roll. Insanity is awesome. Very happy with that, and we'll lock another crossbow. Okay, so I've got 8 materials in the bank. Crossbows, I think, cost 22 next wave, so I need to get to 40 materials if possible, and then we can maybe buy... no, because I need to re-roll, so we need 42 materials minimum to be able to buy 2 crossbows, if we roll into one on the first re-roll. So very important that I pick up all these materials that I'm dropping here. Dang, I'm just short. So given that I'm short of that, that means I can re-roll here, so let's do that, and I guess I'll take 3 crit chance. We'll buy the crossbow, we'll roll here. Okay, 21, not 22, but I'm still, 1 short. So I guess if I hadn't re-rolled our stats, I could have bought the crossbow. No, because we're 3 short still, so... And I think I re-rolled the stats for 2. But good to remember that they cost 21 on wave 2. That'll be important information for if we have to try this one again. Though, obviously, since this is the run, and we're just going to win here, we won't have to try it again. Trying to force enemies to come from the same direction in general, so that we get the pierce value off of our crossbows. But it's a little more dangerous on Abyssal Terrors, because enemies are a little faster and they can surround you pretty easily. Here, I'll just take 5 attack speed, I think. We still haven't found any range, but attack speed is so important. And then I'll take another crossbow. And then I'm just going to buy these 2 items and then roll. Lock a crossbow. So we've got 6, but this gives us more range. The crit chance is super important. So with our range increased, each point of range for the crossbow gives us... or every 10 points of range give us 1 damage, so that's plus 2 damage. We're at basically minus 50 damage at base, so with 320 range, we have 32 damage. So I need 18 more, I need to hit 500 range before we start seeing a base damage increase on our weapons. So maybe this won't be doable except with 4 hunters. But I'm curious to find out. I think now we can try to get the 8-hit pity rule on this tree. Yeah, we did. And then can we kill the lamprey? I need to not die to its charges or its projectiles here. Kind of put myself in a weird spot there where I was in the corner against it as well. But we did manage to kill it. And we got 1 tree kill. And can I pick up some materials here? It's super dangerous to try to pick up central materials on this character because we can just die in 1 hit. Okay, we'll take 15 range, we'll buy a crossbow. Head injury is another amazing find, because every critical hit we get is so powerful. Let's roll here. There's nothing we want. Tree. Do I want a tree? Killing them is so hard, but it is a really good item. I think I'm going to roll here, and then, yeah, another insanity is perfect. That's exactly what we want. Or wait, did I buy... Oh, I completely blanked on this. So this, I thought this was an insanity. I bought a head injury. Obviously should not have done that. Just misread the picture. %6 damage is, of course, not worth losing 8 range on this character. So, huge mistake there. Definitely very costly. We'll see if we can recover from it. This buffed mantis shrimp is really dangerous as well. Try to kill the buffing alien, but at least we made 100 materials this wave. I'll take more crit chance and then more range. So we're 94 crit chance, so I only need a little bit more. So I'll buy 1 more, and that should give us, yeah, 100% critical hits. So that's good. We'll take the crossbow, and lumberjack shirt is awesome. And then I'm going to roll here, and I don't need any of this stuff, so let's go to the next wave. Crossbow, unfortunately, does not gain improved scaling from ranged damage as you level it up. Or from range as you level it up. It's good that it doesn't gain improved scaling from ranged damage, because we have minus 100% ranged damage. Okay, so we got 1 kill on 1 pufferfish across the map from us, but we were able to survive. I want to not kill that one while we're this close to it. Okay, I need to back off the other direction, actually, because there was a pufferfish there. And if I had tried to walk through it, we'd have killed it and then died. Left a lot of materials on the ground, but there's only so much we can do about that. Attack speed is really good. Lost duck. Do I want luck? I think I'm going to pass on luck. I will take another crossbow, though. It's still very good because we get increased crit multiplier and actually it doesn't even attack faster. Do I even want to level up the crossbows? The pierce is good. I guess just increasing the pierce is really important. And lure, I will lock, and then I'll roll, buy a crossbow, and I'm not going to take missile. Alright, so we want to make sure we pick up at least 60 materials this wave, otherwise we're going to start carrying them over from wave to wave really fast. And that'll be bad. Fun run, very stressful. Oh no, it's the walrus. Okay, at least it's not Cursed Walrus, our old nemesis. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna give this one more try with 3 hunters. And then, if that doesn't work, I might conclude that it's not possible, because you just can't catch up in damage fast enough, and go with 4 hunters. Unless we find, like, a really high range item, maybe. Okay, well, obviously... Well, that's not a real trial. We'll try that again. I haven't done that in a while. Alright, so we should be able to get 8 hits here, because we do start with 2 weapons, and that actually gave us more money than we've been getting, so killing the trees wave 1 is worth it. Let's roll here, and I guess I'll take attack speed, and then I'm going to recycle here. We'll roll, and coupon is worth locking, probably. Okay, I need to find crossbows, or we're going to be in trouble. Gummy Berserker's an amazing find. This is exactly the type of item that we need. And then another crossbow. I can't re-roll again, but at least we got 3. The thing that I'm not certain about in terms of efficiencies is whether it's good to try to buy range early, because we need 200 of it before we start seeing any value from it. So maybe it's better to focus on crit chance and attack speed early and get range later. Roll here, and I'll roll again. Gotta find a crossbow. Okay, game. Alright, well, so we don't get a crossbow this wave. I guess I still just have to reroll, though, and lock it. And I'm not going to be able to afford 2 next wave no matter what, so I'll just take the coupon. It is unfortunate that, because I could have had that slot open much earlier, but when you roll a lot like that and don't find the weapon you're looking for, it can be very difficult. Mixing in 1 hiking pole seems like a way that we could do this, and I might try that as well, because if we get a hiking pole, if we happen to find one, then we can build range sort of passively while we focus on buying other stats. So I'll take a crossbow here, I'll re-roll, and I'll roll again, and one more time. No crossbow now, so now I think we're just dead. We just didn't find enough bows to kill the lamprey. We don't have to kill it, we can run away from it, but it's going to be very difficult. Because the other enemies also just absorb so much damage here. Oh, this charge is getting us for sure. Yeah, I just couldn't kill it in time. I'm going to give this one more try with 3 hunters, because we got really bad chops that wave. Or that attempt, so if that doesn't work, we'll try 4. Okay. I keep walking into enemies. I think dying this much is causing me to get a little sloppy, because I'm like, well, we're dying all the time anyways. So I'll give this another go. All right. 55 on wave 1 is pretty good, given the amounts that we've been seeing so far. I'll take the crit chance here, and then I'll buy the crossbow. Yeah, I do think I have to sell the harpoon gun, because we just need to find more crossbows. We'll buy a crossbow here, and roll. I'm just shy of being able to buy another one. If we'd been able to buy 4 on wave 1, that would have been really nice. Do I reroll for 3? I think I'm going to save my money, because this way we might be able to get 2 next wave and be a weapon ahead of where we've been in most of these previous attempts. And I think we can go for the 8-hit pity rule on the tree here. You obviously can't kill trees because you can't debuff them. All right, well, I shouldn't have done that, because that actually is going to cost me a crossbow, I think. I'll take the attack speed here, and then we'll buy 1. Okay, so if I find a crossbow this reroll, we can buy it, because they cost 21. Very lucky there. Going for the tree was definitely a mistake, but we were bailed out by the shop. Basically, every enemy takes 2 attacks minimum, and that's if we crit on the second attack. Because we have to debuff them and then hit them with a critical in order to deal enough damage to kill them. No chance I kill that loot alien, so I'm not even gonna try. This was almost like a real amount of income this wave, though. I'm gonna reroll here, and we'll take more... Ooh, interesting. Crit chance, attack speed, and range. These are the stats that we need. Our weapons crit 60% of the time, so I think crit chance is actually the most important. Why couldn't I have split those up over these 2 shops? Here, I'll take 15 range. Range, or small magazine. So this is basically 10 less range that we need. And it gives us 10% attack speed, so I will, I think, take that. I'll take the Scar. Do I want the Insanity? Oh, Scar does cost me 8 range, though. I'm so used to not considering that at all. I think I do want Insanity over another crossbow, and then we'll lock a crossbow. Tentacle's a very expensive way to buy crit chance, and obviously we can't use the healing. But I do need to hit max crit chance as quickly as possible. I think it's worth locking, because we already have a weapon locked, so the slot in the shop isn't that important. Yeah, I don't know about the Scar, because losing 8 range is a huge penalty. Where's the lamprey? There it is. I was wondering when the thing would come after me, because I need to know where it's spawning and when. Okay, we did manage to kill it. I'm going to need more movement speed to be able to dodge enemy attacks as well, because one hit challenge with no movement speed is really tough. Let's take 10 attack speed here, and then we'll take the crossbow and the tentacle. Gentle alien, I think I'm just going to pass on. We just don't do enough damage right now, and then I'll roll one more time to try to lock a crossbow. Gummy Berserker, also amazing. Obviously, we don't care about losing range. Do I want the injection? Our percent damage is already very high, so it's not that impactful to buy more of it. Once we can start killing enemies far away, like we almost were able to do at the start of this wave, then we're in okay shape. So hopefully we can make that happen. A lot of damage being absorbed by the curse aliens, unfortunately. And the buffers. I really was hoping to get in and pick up some of those materials, but it's so difficult when we're this endangered anytime we even come close to getting close. So basically for us, 2 range damage is worth 10 range. So this is 4 times as valuable as the range damage. So I will just take the eyes here. Let's buy all of these items. Can I afford those all? Not quite, right? So we buy the crossbow. I'll take Gummy Berserker, I think, over the coffee, and then lock the coffee. Do one reroll to see if we can get another crossbow level. Because I do think increasing the pierce is very helpful for killing enemies before they get too close. Okay, killed both of those pufferfish. Obviously, when we're using a ranged weapon, the pufferfish are gonna fire projectiles at us, so I need to be pretty careful about when and where we kill them. Think I might have, oh, okay, I did manage to dodge that. I was like, I might have just killed myself there. Ah, and then I walked back into that attack. That was such a good run, too. Other than, yeah, no, I mean, we just had everything sort of perfect that time. Okay, so I think this is, I don't think it's completely impossible, but I think it's just going to take too many attempts. So let's see what happens if I do 4 hunters. And this means that we don't need as much range to start getting positive damage. Also, it means our crit chance is going to be much higher and everything as well. I guess we'll maybe get the pity rule here. Yeah, we got the kill. It did mean leaving a lot of materials on the ground, but that's okay. So, do I want crit chance? Do I want range? I think we can get to 500 range pretty fast, so I'm just going to buy that. We're going to recycle this and buy the crossbow. Roll, buy crossbow. Another Gummy Berserker this early is also great, and we'll lock another crossbow. Okay, that basically couldn't have been a better first chop, so... Now kind of regretting the 4th hunter, because this would have been a really nice try on the 3 hunter version. Really looking forward to the types of strategies people come up with in the comments. It's always interesting when I am messing up a challenge run or not able to complete one, how people manage to do it themselves. I'll take 5 attack speed here. We'll grab the crossbow. Is Gummy Berserker just better than a crossbow? Probably not. I just need to find another one. And can I do that? Okay, yes, we can. I'm 5 short of a reroll, but that's okay. We've got 5 crossbows for wave 3, which is pretty good. And they now do very good damage because we're quad hunter, so we're much closer to having high damage output. I was thinking, like, maybe we could do this, because it sort of feels like the sweet spot is 3.5 hunters, and Ranger is kind of like half a hunter, but Ranger also multiplies your ranged damage modifiers, so it would make the minus 100 so much worse. Do I want the Cauldron? I guess so. We don't care about losing HP regen. Pickup range isn't that important, but we have a lot of range, so it will help us pick up materials. I'm going to take 5 crit chance here. That will be 10 crit chance and get us, because we've got Quad Hunter. Oh, actually, even more than that, because the Diver also modifies crit chance. And then, yeah, we'll take more, because I really want to hit max crit chance here. I'll take the Gummy Berserker. I'll roll again. All right, game, I need a crossbow. Eye patch, more piercing is still pretty good, probably, and more crit chance is still pretty good as well. And then I'll roll. Okay, and we were able to afford to buy a 6th crossbow, which is perfect. We'll lock this coupon and go to the next wave. Okay, so now we're starting to do damage. 156 on criticals because we've got increased range. Yeah, and the lamprey just vanished. So having the 4th copy of Hunter really spikes your damage over the top so much faster. It makes this run significantly easier. Here I'm going to reroll, and then are we at max crit chance yet? Not quite, so I'll take 1 more crit chance modifier. And then in combo with the eye patch, and once we start leveling our crossbows, that will mean we're just going to auto-crit on every attack. Actually, even before we level our crossbows. I will still grab small magazine, though. And then let's go to the next wave here, because attack speed is super important. So the really interesting thing is that the crossbows, when they crit, it seems like they're applying the debuff and then doing the critical damage after the debuff. Whereas when they don't crit, they're not doing that. But it seems like the actual crossbow shot is applying the debuff on a critical hit, because they're doing as much damage as when the enemies were previously debuffed. It's a very interesting interaction. I'm not exactly sure what's happening there. I could take more attack speed, and probably should. I think that's the most important stat for us right now. Take the crossbow, we'll take the small magazine. I'll roll here, lock a crossbow. Pearl is interesting. We don't have any luck right now, but of course we would buy some. And I do need more movement speed, because keeping ahead of enemy attacks, especially as we get to elites, is going to be very important. Oh, although Beanie costs us range, so actually I can't buy that. I should not have locked that. Need to remember not to buy it, even though it's locked in the shop. You'll often see me lock something, decide that I shouldn't buy it, and then buy it anyways, because I'm so habituated to just, you know, trusting my past self to have locked a good item. Yeah, so like when we attack the tree, we critically hit for 40. When we attack an enemy, we critically hit for 200. So it is applying the debuff and benefiting from that debuff in the same attack. But it wasn't doing that previously. It was doing like 6 base damage and then more damage otherwise. Do I want range or attack speed? I guess I'll take range here, and then I'll roll again. Take 30 more range. That's perfect. Not buying the beanie. Take the crossbow. I don't need percent damage, actually, because with Quad Hunter, we get all of that from range as well. Take another crossbow. Sharp bullet we don't need, of course. Let's reroll here and reroll again, and we will take another crossbow. Particle Accelerator is also a ranged, or is not a ranged weapon. This scales with Elemental and Engineering. So I could use the Particle Accelerator, but it's not precise, and I'm kind of enjoying just the mono crossbow run. Take the bag here. And then scope, I guess, is good. 25 range. -7 attack speed's very painful, but all range is so impactful for this character that it's worth grabbing. Yeah, and at this point with Quad Hunter, we're just so stacked that we're one-shotting everything. Obviously, still losable when you've only got 1 HP, but unfortunately, the experiment of bumping up to Quad Hunter does seem to have made this a fairly easy run. I'll probably revisit the Triple Hunter version of this challenge at some point, because this is really fun. I'll finish this run out, of course. Or die. You know, recycle the mutation. I just don't think buying ranged damage is particularly impactful. Attack speed is exactly what we need. Can we get away with buying the bait here? 8% damage. 8% damage is just not that important. We're just going to buy range, and we'll take the coupon and combine, buy a crossbow. Now all our weapons crit on every attack. We'll take a whistle here, and we'll reroll again. More movement speed I need, baby gecko I need, and then all of the rest of this stuff we don't have any use for. I mean, I guess it's fair. I have 1 HP, so all the enemies now effectively have 1 HP as well. I was like, I'm very tired today. I hurt my hand doing some renovation work yesterday. So I'm going to do a GMO run instead of doing another random weapon run. Then, of course, I chose an incredibly hard GMO run. Here, more attack speed, I think, is going to be even better than more range. And then we'll keep upgrading our crossbow, take the gecko, take Clockwork Wasp because I do want more move speed, and I guess I'll take more Curse because Curse is good. Then we'll re-roll here, take a crossbow. Small magazine is still going to be good. Cyclops Worm is terrible. Anything that reduces range, obviously, is no good. We're going to lose more % damage than we gain from buying that. Not quite, but close. It is satisfying how far we're shooting and how much enemies are just vanishing from across the map. That's very fun. Also, Curse is very important. Ooh, oh, almost died there. Even though we're killing everything very quickly, I do need to be pretty careful, because obviously we still have 1 HP. We can never increase it. So I still need to be extremely careful about my positioning and not just walk into enemy attacks. Very easy to do that, especially as we're getting it to this point where we're one-shotting most enemies. It's easy to just get too cocky. Roll here, we'll buy a crossbow, take the glasses. I don't need the tentacle. I think I'm not really worried about luck, so I'll just take a little more movement speed, and then I'll roll. Gummy Berserker is great. Ritual, I don't care about. Blindfold we don't want because it reduces range, and we don't need the crit chance. And dodge is very poor when you have 1 HP. That's a little counterintuitive, but dodge is basically a multiplier on your HP. So the lower your health, the worse dodge is. I will take another Clockwork Wasp, I think. It's expensive, but movement speed is really important right now. Honestly, I don't really need to buy more range that much, because we crit for 1,000 right now. I need to buy attack speed, mostly. More range, I think, will still be good, so I'm going to keep buying it, but... because I really want to, like, one-tap the elites. Right now, we should one-shot pretty much every enemy all the way through, but... not the elites, and so we need to make sure that we're doing that as well. But attack speed is the stat that's going to keep me alive here. Oh, nice. Got that loot alien kill. And another baby gecko is great. I'll take some luck here. I think we can use a little bit of luck now, and then I will buy a crossbow, pick a gummy berserker, and some more stuff. Fishhook is great. Ooh, do I want a... obviously, we'll take the peacock. What do I want to try to lock? I think I'm just going to buy the peacock, lock the gummy berserker, and roll. Actually, maybe I should have saved... I should have locked peacock, because that's a horde wave. So I could have had the... potentially even cursed peacock for the horde wave. Go to the next wave here. Whoa, the speedy enemies are still pretty dangerous. I need to stay far away from where enemies are spawning so that my guy has time to react to them. Very happy with that. Loot alien kill, of course. Got our projectile on the field, and it's so easy to walk into those like very, very slow moving projectiles and then feel like the dumbest person on the entire planet. As you just watch it drift into you and then play catch. Stood a little too close to that red X there and almost got myself in trouble. Obviously, we don't need a healing item. I guess I'll take more range when it shows up like this. I really just need more attack speed. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll take a gummy berserker. That's perfect. I'll roll here. I'll buy a crossbow. Cyberball, there's no point in that. Unless we're critting an enemy, we're not doing any damage, so we just don't need items like that. I'll take another fishhook. I'll roll. And I'll roll one more time. We've got a fishhook, or 2 fishhooks, so we can benefit from locking items, so I'm actually going to keep rolling, and I'll take a shady potion as well, potentially. Alright, let's see if this horde wave is too difficult. I'm going to try to stay in the center as long as possible, but if things start to get hairy, we can retreat to the corner. That way, enemies will be coming from one direction at the same time. By which I do mean the band, of course. And that will allow us to use our Pierce more effectively. But staying in the middle gives us more maneuverability, so it's generally better to stay in the middle as long as you can. Oh, that enemy didn't die on our first attack because it was a cursed lamprey. So, I'm gonna move to the corner here now, I think. Trying to line up, so as enemies are spawning in big lines, I'm trying to line up my character with the longest lines of enemies so that we are keeping the largest possible area of the map clear. Didn't pick up that many materials, but that's fine. A bowler hat I'm going to recycle. This would give us highly negative harvesting, which I don't really want to have to deal with. And then I'm going to roll here. Roll again, and 15 attack speed is exactly what we needed. All right, treasure map, shady potion, pumpkin. We don't need. Crossbow has full piercing damage, so you don't need pumpkins with it. We'll take another crossbow, and duct tape obviously doesn't do anything. Let's roll. Okay, cursed crossbow is pretty good. Ugly tooth we don't need. I really don't want to decrease my move speed, but scope is pretty nice. Let's go to wave 13 here. Gotta pick up a lot of materials this wave if possible, since we left a ton on the ground last wave. It is satisfying to see the big enemies spawn, and then you just laser them from across the entire map, and they pop. That is a real joy of having long range. Pentacle, we don't have any use for, right? Yeah, we're way over crit cap, so I'm just going to recycle it. And then here I'm going to, I guess, just take 45 range. And do I need more damage going into the elite fight? Probably not. I think I'm going to roll. Roll again. Roll one more time. I'm really looking for crit chance. I mean, dodge does give us a tiny chance of not dying if I walk into a hit, but we're much better off with things like tardigrade. Yeah, attack speed is exactly what I wanted. I'll take the crossbow and the scope for sure. Let's re-roll, and a level 4 crossbow is pretty nice. So we'll go ahead and combine our cursed one and buy a level 4 crossbow. And then I'll take the lucky charm as well. And celery tea I could lock. We do have double fishhook, so let's do that. I'll roll here and lock a crossbow, and we'll see if the fishhook gives us any value. Go to the next wave. All right, where's the elite? Over there. Gotta kill it before it does too much damage, or before it puts out too many attacks. And we did. Definitely could use a little more luck. Obviously, when you can't use harvesting, luck is the best economy stat. Though we do have some curse and double fishhook, so economy is really nice. Or it is really solid for us anyways. And really the only stat that we care about at this point is attack speed. It's kind of the only thing that matters. Because we one-shot almost every enemy. Across almost the entire map. More range would still help kill enemies before they can, like, make attacks. But, that's what you need, obviously, for a one-hit challenge. I'm going to recycle all this stuff. Defensive stats are completely useless to us. And then we will take this celery tea. So this is additive with the diver bonus. Enemies will go from 250% to 350%. So it's not as bad as it sounds like it might be with this character. I will take a scar. It does cost me 8 range, but at this point our range is so high I don't think that matters. Eye patch for more piercing. We've got so many piercing attacks, I don't really need that. We'll lock a crossbow. Baby with a beard can debuff enemies, but since we are using a ranged weapon anyways, we don't need that. Normally very good on the diver, though. Ooh, that's a lot of projectiles. So this wave is going to be pretty dangerous for us. There's a lot of pufferfish on this wave, so there's going to be a lot of just random projectiles on the map, and I need to be careful of those. Had to back away from those lamprey spawns to make sure they didn't charge. I'm trying to minimize the number of things that I have to dodge at this point, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that we have to dodge just sort of naturally, things like those pufferfish spawns. So anything that I don't force myself to dodge, that I don't have to, is going to be better for us, make it easier for us to survive. Beanie, I could decrease my range at this point. It's not totally ridiculous. And move speed is good, but I feel like we'll be able to get other move speed. I don't really want sharp bullet. I'm going to roll here. And yeah, I guess I'll just take 30 range. We'll roll again and take 45 more range. I mean, being able to kill the bosses is still really nice. We'll take leveled up crossbow. So now we've got a bunch of cursed crossbows. And the jetpack, I'll grab this. There's a chance that with 16% dodge we don't die, and the move speed is really helpful. Scarf doesn't do anything for us. Lucky coin is very good, though. Fairy doesn't do anything, so we'll re-roll that. Bandana, we've got so much pierce already, I just don't think it's really worth it, but I'll lock a bag, because a cursed bag would pay off pretty quickly. I also do have the eye patch, so we have some weapon inaccuracy, so sometimes we're going to attack and not kill an enemy, just because our shot will go past them, especially at these, like, long ranges. So that I do need to be aware of. That I can't always move as if any enemy near me is going to be instantly dead, because we might shoot past it, and then if it survives, then I could just walk into it. Trying to kill some of these curse aliens so that we can get higher curse here. At this point, our damage is high enough. There's no downside of curse. It's just all upside. And adrenaline, obviously, doesn't do that much, but I guess it's a 1 in 20 chance of us not dying if I walk into an attack, so it's not the end of the world. Crystal is exactly what we want. We will take as many of these as we can get. And then we don't care about our max HP. Do I care about 4 ranged damage or 4 base damage on all our weapons from ranged damage? I think I want 50 materials more. Roll here and roll again. Roll again. Okay, well, I guess I'll take 3 range damage because I keep re-rolling and not getting anything useful, so we'll just have to settle. Snail is going to be pretty good. That'll help us avoid enemies much more easily. And then I'll roll here, and Cursed Lighthouse sadly doesn't do anything, but a wolf helmet cursed might. Alright, got the elite, of course, before it had a chance to move at all. I would love a Sift's Relic or some more geckos so that I could just stand AFK. Because in some ways, just standing completely motionless in the middle of the map is actually the safest thing to do here. because our damage is so high. Enemies are forced to spawn in a certain radius away from your character. So if we're not moving, we're never going to walk into the enemy spawns. So this is actually the safest way to play this run, and will be better if we get a way to pick up materials. For now, I have to run around and grab those, or we're not going to get any stronger, but the goal will be to be able to go full AFK. Seashell, yeah, we're very happy to pick up a seashell. That's just an awesome find. More curse is good in and of itself, even though I can't use either of these stats. I think I'm going to recycle it, though, because the other stats are just too valuable. We'll take 20 luck here. We'll take a snail. Take some more move speed. Take 20 more luck, and then I'll roll. Potato, I guess, is good. Ashes is obviously incredible for this character. I'll take a bait, and an alloy is also pretty nice as well. Although range damage and crit chance are both kind of useless, even cursed, so let's reroll, and sure, I'll lock a corrupted shard. Double fishhook, you can get away with locking items pretty aggressively, of course. The seashells are so fun, just like watching all of these bolts go everywhere. Yeah, it's too bad that we can't play 3.5 hunters, because I think that's sort of the sweet spot for this combo, where you're going to really struggle in the early game and then sort of turn a corner, which is what you kind of want with this type of challenge. A lot of projectiles also on this map, so I do, again, still need to pay attention. That is, I suppose, a reason that we can't just go completely AFK, because the pufferfish can shoot projectiles at us, even if we're killing everything as soon as it spawns. All right, so I need to... It's very important that I don't click the take button on the bloody hand, so we're going to recycle that. Ooh, nice. 4 cursed items from our fishhooks? I think that's never happened to me ever. We'll take the ashes here. Potato, we just want for the attack speed, basically, and the move speed. I'll take the bait. That's fine. We'll take corrupted shard, and then I will roll. And I don't need any of this stuff, so let's go to wave 19. I need to remember I've got bait. Fortunately, just shifting slightly to the side towards where the fewest of them are spawning is good enough, as long as you've got enough damage. Gonna get some material pickups here as well. We haven't managed to... Oh, I came very close to dying there. There was a little fast horde alien that got right next to me. So again, I still need to be very careful. I'll take the silver bullet. Weird Ghost doesn't change anything here, but we'll recycle it, of course. And then let me reroll. I could have taken 15 range there, but I'm really looking for attack speed. And 45 range is good enough to grab. We'll take the potato and spyglass. Even at this point, the spyglass is still good because 10 range is just good for this character. Then I will take another crossbow. And roll. See if there's anything else we can get. There's not... Wow, treasure map was terrible this run. And we'll just roll a couple more times for fun. And then see if we can survive the bosses here. All right, there goes Whalian, and I do have to dodge a little bit. Whew. I kind of felt alarm there because I froze after the enemy died, and it looked like I was not going to be able to escape that spiral attack, but we did manage to kill it. All right, my friends, so that's that challenge run. I definitely want to try that again with only 3 hunters, but that was still a pretty fun run. we managed to get a ton of damage and survive with only 1 health the entire time. We got 450 from Coupon, 438 from Bags, including the cursed one, 2 items from Treasure Map. Our fish hooks did very well. We actually didn't end up with that many items overall, but a very solid run with really, really good weapons that carried us through. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed that. That was a really interesting challenge. I definitely suggest trying it yourself, and let me know if you manage to beat the 3-hunter version with 1 diver and 3 hunters. Very interested to see how people manage to do that, because it seemed doable, but extremely difficult. All right, my friends, as always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.